Hi Intermediate, we're back with video 4, so let's go through it again. This one's a little more complicated. You're going to need your calculator for this one. So let's first find the vertex. So the vertex again is the opposite of the inside, so it's -2, same as the outside, so it's -5. Okay, I'm going to put that on my graph. Okay, so over 2, down 5. -2, 5. Okay, -2, -5, that is my vertex. So now I'm going to go for the Y-intercept. So for the Y-intercept, I'm going to let my x equal to 0. Okay, I want my x equal to 0. 0 plus 2 squared minus 5. Okay, 0. So y equals to 2 squared minus 5, or y equals to 4 minus 5, or y equals to -1. So -1, 0. Alright, so I let my x be 0. So 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 5 is -1. So the... Oh, sorry about that. So the point is 0, -1. Now let's find the point by symmetry off of that guy. So I am 2 units away. The center of this graph is 2 units away from this point, which means that I need a buddy point, or a point by symmetry that's 2 units in the other direction off of the center. So I need a point that's going to be sitting here. So for me to figure out where that point in space is, I have to actually walk 1, 2, 3, 4 units on the x to the left and -1 unit down. So this one we would call point by symmetry, because I used the symmetry of the Y-intercept to find it off of the center. Okay, so now let's find the X-intercepts, because this graph is going face up. So let's figure that out. So X-intercepts, now we're going to let the y be 0, and we're going to solve for that. X plus 2 squared minus 5 equals 0. Just a reminder, when you have something squared and a constant, you want to use the square root method. So the square root method is where you get the constant on one side and the squared term on the other. You want to separate the squared term and the constant. Alright, now I'm going to take the square root of both sides, put my plus or minus. Alright, now I'm going to move the 2 to the other side. Alright, now here's where I want you to have your calculator ready, because for me to graph this point, I need to estimate what radical 5 is, okay? So on your calculator, you're going to have a button above, see above this, x squared, above it. That's my radical key. This is a square root. So I'm going to estimate, I'm going to hit shift. I have to hit shift because I have to get the key above it. When you have to get the key above it, you have to hit shift. So now you see I get the square root thing here. I'm going to put a 5 in there. I'm going to close the parentheses. I'm going to hit equal. Okay, and that's going to be 2, just do 1 decimal on this for me, okay? So 2.23, that would round down to 2.2. So we're going to estimate radical 5 to be 2.2. So now let me finish it. So it's -2 plus 2.2, which is going to equal to 0.2, and -2 minus 2.2, which is going to equal to -4.2. So the two values I have, one of them is 0.2 and 0, and the other one is -4.2 and 0. Okay, so let's draw that. Let's see here. -4. Now, 0.2 as a fraction is the same as 1/5, so it's pretty. 0.2 is pretty tight in there. It's pretty close. You can write it either way as the decimal version or the exact. I like to write the exact, but that doesn't have to be you. You could just write the estimation here. And the -4.2, that's just a little bit to the left of -4. So that's going to be the -2 minus radical 2 comma 0. Alright, gang, and then we draw it. And that's your graph, okay? So be prepared to need your calculator for some of these problems. Alright, catch you again in another video. Bye-bye.